Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos. So transfer news to currently give you an update on of course. First topic of the development, I'm going to give you an update on is in regards to Daniel James. Now his move is very imminent to Manchester United. Recent reports have come out saying that reportedly he has withdrawn from the Wales camp due to his current father, currently dying of course. So potentially now this could delay his move to Manchester United for quite a bit. And yeah, so initially reports were coming out from BBC Sport yesterday suggesting out that Manchester United have been in more negotiations with Swansea about Daniel James because supposedly a fee has not come to an agreement. The personal terms, as you all know, have been agreed, but a fee's not been agreed. But I do believe the initial fee will be around £15 million. If add-ons are included in the deal, it might rise it up to around £20 million for Daniel James. But obviously, as you're all aware, that the stories broke out about this earlier on in the month that Manchester United were close to agreeing a deal for around £15 million for him. So obviously looking at it ultimately, he's going to be our first signing for this summer. But obviously, let's be honest, he is a low expectation. He's a cheap acquisition, and yeah, he is a surprise solution. But has he got the capabilities? Has he got the abilities to succeed in the Premier League? Can he exceed expectation levels at Manchester United? And I have got some concerns about him because we're getting him from lower division to start with. Plus, I've got some reservations about him when it comes to him being in the air because he isn't good in the air. He isn't really good at tracking back. He's good in terms of attacking intent. His pace is unbelievable. He's very, very fast. He's good on the ball. He can score goals as he has proven, and he has attracted interest, from quite a few clubs. Obviously, Brighton, came in right at the final hurdle, but I think from Daniel James's perspective, he wants to make the move to Manchester United. Obviously, Leeds on the brink of getting a deal over the line for him back in January. Everton have also, been interested in him, but he has been impressive throughout the course of this season with Swansea. Obviously, I think he's played about 30 odd games. He's only got a year left on his current deal as Daniel James. But yeah, it's looking likely he's going to be our first signing. But as it's been blatantly made clear, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has worked out our transfer strategy for this summer. He's worked out our transfer strategy for this summer, and he wants to recommend a number of young players to come in, that can grow, develop, and emulate into superstars. And Solskjaer is not intending on bringing any short-term players to the club. But yeah, Daniel James is a surprise solution, but he's a cheap acquisition. Looking at it, £15 million or 20 million, it's a reasonable figure. As I said, always getting Galactico players, always spending big on players doesn't always, guarantee you to get you in that commanding position, of course, where you do currently want to be. But obviously, as you all know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had been asked towards the back end of the season, about the speculation linking Daniel James with a move to Old Trafford, and obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer refused to comment on that. So basically, he refused to comment on that because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware that there's so many individuals linked with Manchester United. He did say that a number of agents have contacted him, saying that their players want to come to Manchester United, but he has been in quite a few meetings, discussing about our recruitment. So he does want to bring a number of young players in. So Daniel James is primarily a left winger, as you all know. That's where he primarily plays on the wing. You can rotate him to the right, but he's supposed to be more effective from the left, and he can also play as attacking midfielder. But now with his father passing away and that, and obviously with him having to withdraw from the Wales camp, his move could be delayed for a little period, for a little while, to Manchester United. But I think it was supposed to be announced this week, wasn't it? But now with his father dying, it could take a bit longer, to get the deal over the line, for Daniel James. But yeah, 21, still got a lot of years ahead of him. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking, to buy into our history. Obviously, the signings we do make this summer, obviously, they've got to fit the culture and the history of the club. He wants to bring at least 5 new additions in. The spending spree is £250 million. We are expected to orchestrate a big summer clear out, as you all know. But as I did currently say, at least in the next couple of seasons, my aspirations is going to be fighting for that top 4. Obviously, it's going to be difficult for us to attract players to the elite level because we're not in Champions League football for next season. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer still believes, we can attract players to the elite level. But like I said, I think our aspirations, at least in the next couple of seasons, is going to be fighting for that top 4. But as I did say at the moment, the likes of City strides ahead of us, Liverpool strides ahead of us, and I think they're going to try and invest this summer. So we've got to get the right recruitment this summer. But as I did currently say, Solskjaer's still in the process of rebuilding because obviously, looking at it on this squad, he's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's inheriting 11 of Jose Mourinho's players, there's players here from Van Gaal, there's Matty from the David Moyes era, and there's, 4 or 5 players here from the Ferguson era, and I know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did manage, some of this he managed some of this team at this day and age when he was managing the Manchester United reserve team, but obviously, as you all know, none of this squad is easy. In terms of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'm still backing him, got to give him the summer to spend and then see what happens, going on into next season, but if expectations expectation levels aren't met next season, I do believe that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably, will be gone by Christmas, of course. But it just seems to have all gone wrong, since he has got the job permanently. Maybe we have given the job too early. Maybe we should have waited until this point, to make a decision whether he should get the job or not, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But it all went well. It all went well in his first 3 months as interim manager. But we do know since Ferguson's left, a lot of money has been invested into the club. Over £700 million has been spent. But yeah, with this move of Daniel James, so it could be a bit of a delay now. So it could take a bit longer to get a deal over the line, because obviously Daniel James, his father, has currently passed away. So I'll give you my update earlier on in regards to De Ligt from Ajax. Now reportedly Manchester United have come in with an improved offer for De Ligt, because obviously he has been on Manchester United's agenda. Obviously we are in search for the centre back. Obviously he's also been on Liverpool's agenda, but I think Liverpool have opted out of the race, and obviously Barcelona are in for him, and obviously Barcelona are obviously a monster favourites to get the pursuit of De Ligt, of course. I think from his own perspective, De Ligt that's his preferred destination. I think the main reason why is because obviously his current teammate Frankie de Jong's going there, so he maybe wants to reunite with Frankie de Jong. But now reportedly Manchester United have come, as I said, we've come up with an improved offer for him. I think it reported a couple of weeks ago saying that Manchester United saying that Manchester United had reportedly offered him a contract worth around 12 million a year, but reportedly De Ligt had currently turned this down. But I think he'd address our defensive deficiencies fantastically well with De Ligt. I do really like him. I think he's a really good player. He's only 19 years of age. Obviously so far has spent the entirety of his career with Ajax. Obviously he's a centre back, of course, very tall as well, which is very beneficial. But he has made his admission as De Ligt that he's going to be obviously leaving Ajax, and I think he's made his admission that he does want to make the move to Barcelona. But he's initially valued at around 65 or 70 million pounds is De Ligt. But now Manchester United have come up with an improved offer that could convince De Ligt to snub Barcelona and come to Manchester United. But I really do like this player a lot, De Ligt. And as I did say, he's been an Ajax player since the age of 9. Obviously he can leave Ajax on a high though, can De Ligt. He can definitely leave Ajax on a high. He's won the domestic double with them for the first time in 17 years. That's the first time I think Ajax have won the domestic double in like 17 years. That's nearly 2 decades, of course. Obviously that's the first time they've won their device this season since 2014, and obviously they progressed to the Champions League semi-final. So Ajax have actually had a really good season, and De Ligt has been an integral part of their team. But yeah, only 19 years of age. But I do believe if he was to make the move to the Premier League or Spain, it would take his career to the next level. But I still believe Barcelona are the favourites, to currently land him. So I do believe he will be playing his trade in Spain next season, will De Ligt. But De Ligt's the only defender to win the Golden Boy Award. De Ligt, of course, became more of a first team starter when Davinson Sanchez, departed. When Davinson Sanchez, departed, Ajax in 2017 for Tottenham. But Ajax have got a great young squad. Edwin van der Sar had obviously, confirmed that, he was convinced that De Ligt was always going to leave. He did say we're going to leave this summer, and he did say we're either going to make the move to England or Spain, and this is what, currently Edwin van der Sar thought. But yeah, I do really like De Ligt, and I hope he can still come to Manchester United. Whether he comes or not, I do not know. But reportedly now Manchester United have come in with an improved offer. But I really like him a lot. His stability is very good. He holds his line really well, and he's had now 3 years worth of experience in Ajax's senior squad. Obviously made his senior debut at just the age of 16. So yeah, I do really like him, because I do believe that we need 2 central defenders this summer. I think obviously now Koulibaly is our number 1 priority target. Well, initially our number 1 priority target was Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho, but obviously now with our failure to get in Champions League football for next season, our move for him looks in serious jeopardy this summer. Even though initially it did say some Manchester United now fans are convinced that Jadon Sancho's summer transfer is back onto Manchester United after, as you all know, Borussia Dortmund signed 2 players yesterday. They signed Thorgan Hazard from Borussia Mönchengladbach, and they signed Julian Braun. I can't remember what team it was from, but they did sign Julian Braun. I think they are both winners. I think Julian Braun can also play him as an attacking midfielder, as he has done a couple of times this season, I heard. But he also plays on the wing. So now what he's basically said is now that obviously Jadon Sancho is primarily a winner himself, he could possibly be surplus to requirements, and he could find game time difficult next season with Borussia Dortmund. So this is maybe why the main reason why some of the Manchester United fans are convinced that Jadon Sancho will leave Dortmund. But Jadon Sancho is still intending on staying with Borussia Dortmund, as you all know. I really like Jadon Sancho. He had been the club's number 1 priority target for a very long time. As I did say, Manchester United were willing to pay year. His £100 million valuation. That is that is a lot of money, for the young 19-year-old. But obviously we've got the financial power, to currently meet that valuation. But yeah, Man United were willing to pay that £100 million. But I think, as I said, Jadon Sancho is intending on spending at least another season with Dortmund. He's intending on spending at least another season there with Dortmund, and Borussia Dortmund themselves are very convinced that Jadon Sancho will stay, because he has become an integral part of their team, and he's done absolutely he's flourished fantastically well at Borussia Dortmund in his couple of seasons there. Obviously he's a former Manchester City player, but I believe it'd help him with his developing process better. If he came to the Premier League, I think it would create a better platform for him, and I'd love him to come to Manchester United, Jadon Sancho, because I'd love us to get a player of his quality, and obviously he's the obvious candidate for the wing, of course, but yeah, I don't see us getting a deal over the line for him, because obviously we're not in a Champions League football for next season, and a player of Jadon Sancho's calibre, would want to be in a Champions League football. So obviously, he's been heavily linked with a move to Manchester United, but I don't see us getting him now. So now we've obviously identified Koulibaly as our number one target. Obviously, reports coming out from Italy a couple of days ago saying that Man United had a £95 million bid turned down for him. But obviously, we do know the rumours do continue to persist, linking Koulibaly with a move to Old Trafford. Obviously, the process started about this, under Jose Mourinho last year. Obviously, it started the process under Jose Mourinho, but obviously, we couldn't get Koulibaly last summer. But obviously, we didn't get as priority targets last summer, because obviously, going back to last summer, the board weren't backing the signings that Jose Mourinho, wanted to recommend to come into the club, and obviously our priority, was to currently get a centre back in. But Koulibaly has been on Manchester United's agenda now for quite some time, as you all currently know. But I do really, really like him. He's highly experienced. He's 27. He's nearly 28 years of age. He's still got years ahead of him. He's still got a lot of development in him as Koulibaly, but he's been fantastic in his 5 years with Napoli. Obviously, he's got a contract with them until 2023. I do believe as well last year Manchester United had 3 bids turned down for him. I also think a £95 million bid was also turned down for Koulibaly last year. But Napoli, were not willing to do any business for him in January. They weren't willing to do any business for him last summer. But he did say if Man United have got any chances of getting him, I don't know if we're going to get him. We'd have to break the world transfer record for him, and I think we'd probably have to offer up to around 120 or 130 million pounds, maybe even more, to convince Napoli to sell him off. But I think Man United are reluctant, to offer that much for Koulibaly. So we did have a £95 million bid turned down for him. Carlo Ancelotti has regarded him as one of the best centre backs in the world, and I think he is one of the best in the world. And I do believe if he came to Premier League, he would produce and deliver the same element of the performances, that he's been doing in his 5 years with Napoli. But yeah, I do really, really like him. I think he'd address our defensive deficiencies, fantastically well if he was to come in. And yeah, I think he'd be a fantastic leader in our back line alongside, Lindelof. And it'd be fantastic if we got deals over the line for Koulibaly and De Ligt. I imagine how exciting, that currently would be. But yeah, I really, really want Koulibaly, of course. So yeah, we've had reportedly a £95 million bid turned down for him. I think, yeah, he has got a contract with them, as you all know, until 2023. But yeah, the rumours do continue to persist, linking Koulibaly with a move to Old Trafford, because we haven't had a world-class central defender, since we had the likes of Vidic, since we had the likes of Ferdinand. So we've got to get a central defender in there this summer. But I do believe we need 2, because we've got the likes of Smalling and Jones. They're not good enough now. They've been 2 long-serving players at the club. Smalling's been here 9 seasons, Jones has been here 8 seasons, and comparing them together, I think Jones is a much better. Smalling is a much better defender than Phil Jones. But I still think they're not good enough. I think they need to go in this summer. But obviously we know that Jones and Smalling are still going to be at Manchester United next season. So this is why I do believe we need 2 central defenders. We've got Eric Bailly, of course. There's been rumours that he could be leaving this summer. Burst into the scenes when he first came into the Premier League. But to be quite honest here about Eric Bailly, I think his career has been badly affected, with his fallouts. With his fallouts on the managers, with his fallout on the managers, with his injuries, he has currently sustained Eric Bailly. So yeah, I think he could be on his way. I think we are looking to recoup the initial £30 million, that we did pay for him 3 years ago, back in 2016 from Villarreal. But he has initially lost his place in the team. Rojo's going to be going, which is good news. Rojo's injury prone anywhere, and he's sustained a very, very difficult time at Manchester United, so we can cash in for him. Darmian, obviously fullback, we can cash in for Darmian as well. So I think we can get around £30 million, for Darmian and Marcus Rojo. So that's very, very good. And yeah, so other central defenders, we do know there's been a lot of talks about Leicester City's Harry Maguire. Now, it did say Manchester City are interested in Harry Maguire. It's also said they've showed an interest in Delete Manchester City, but I think now, according to reports about, was it 2 or 3 days ago, saying that Manchester City have identified Harry Maguire as their number one target to replace Vincent Kompany. Now, obviously, Vincent Kompany has left Manchester City after serving 11 years with the club. Obviously, now it's confirmed he is the player manager and Anderlecht is Vincent Kompany. So City now are in the market, to try and find a replacement for Vincent Kompany. So they have identified Harry Maguire. It didn't actually say City may have to break the world transfer record. City may have to break the world transfer record. City may have to break the world transfer record, to get a deal over the line for Harry Maguire, because obviously, Leicester don't want to lose Harry Maguire. But maybe from Harry Maguire's perspective, he may see it in a different way. Maybe he wants to go to a competitive elite level football club. He wants to go to a team that challenges and wins trophies, of course. And obviously, Manchester City, would be the attractive option, for Harry Maguire. But it could take a bid of around maybe 70 odd or 80 odd million pounds from Manchester City to get a deal over the line for him. But we do know he's been on Manchester United's agenda for some time as Harry Maguire. Obviously, we were linked to him last summer, and I like Harry Maguire a lot. I wouldn't put him in the same level or calibre as, the likes of the Koulibaly's or, the like Rafael Varane's and all that, but he's still well Premier League proven. Of course, he's Harry Maguire. He's been at Leicester a couple of seasons now, obviously signed a new long-term contract with them last summer, so he's under contract with Leicester till 2023. He's 26, as you all know, he's in his prime. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him, of course, and I think he's done really, really well with Leicester City as Harry Maguire. But obviously, the likes of us and City have got the financial power, to meet his valuation, to currently also, double his wages, and obviously Leicester haven't got that financial power or that kind of money, to currently double Harry Maguire's wages. So could he be possibly, out on his way out of Leicester? As I said, he's British as well, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer showed an interest in quite a few British players. But yeah, I think he'd be the right solution for Manchester United. I think it did say he was previously valued at around 70 or 80 million pounds. I think he's made 100 odd appearances in the Premier League, if I'm right, as Harry Maguire. But yeah, City have expressed their interest in him. But there's been quite a few central defenders on our agenda. Obviously, we're not going to get Rafael Varane, because obviously it's confirmed with Rafael Varane he's going to be staying at Real Madrid next season, as it has confirmed. Even though there was a lot of rumours going on, last month, back in April, that he was seeking for the new challengers, Rafael Varane, and he was considering, leaving Real Madrid. But now it's been a change of scenery. Now Rafael Varane is fully committed to Real Madrid, and I don't think we'll get Rafael Varane anywhere. He's going to cost you far too much money. Don't get me wrong, we've got the financial power to meet his valuation, but I think, he don't want to leave Real Madrid anywhere. Zinedine Zidane, of course, doesn't want Rafael Varane to leave. But Rafael Varane is 26 years of age. He has still got a lot of years ahead of him. I think he just recently turned 26. Rafael Varane. He has spent the majority of his career with Real Madrid. Obviously began his career in France. When he was a lot younger. Rafael Varane. But it's remarkable what he's achieved as a 26-year-old. Of course, I think he's won about 15, 16 major honours with Real Madrid. Obviously was very, very good in the World Cup with France last summer. But yeah, he's attracted interest, from quite a few teams, Rafael Varane, but he's fully committed to Real Madrid. He's reads the game well, his stability is very, very good, his distribution is very, very good, and he's an absolutely fantastic central defender. So, but he's not going to be, obviously, leaving Real Madrid now, as that has currently confirmed. So yeah, a lot of central defenders on our agenda, and that's an area where Manchester United, do currently need to strengthen up. But it's very essential that we are ruthless in this summer transfer window. We've got to definitely rebuild. Obviously, all the players want to go, and they're not going to be able to go all in one window. So we're not going to be able to resolve this problem in one window. It's going to take a couple of windows, to address that problem out. Obviously, another problem that's been going on with Manchester United, we've been letting far too many players' contracts run down. Obviously, De Gea's in his final year of his contract. Rashford's in his final year of his contract. Obviously, when Matta's coming to an end of his deal, with Ander Herrera go on a free transfer, which was actually a bad business for Manchester United. So, yeah, these problems that, do currently need addressing. Talking about, as he updated you, was it yesterday, or was it the day before, that it has been officially confirmed from what I saw anywhere. The captaincy at Manchester United next season will be given to Ashley Young, of what I saw. I think this is a disgrace, should I say Ashley Young. And Young should not even be at Manchester United next season, but we know for a fact he's going to be in next season, and I think he should leave the club. But I think probably the club are going to wait till his 1 year extension expires. Then, by the time that expires, he'll be 35 and he'll be coming to an end of his playing career anyway, Ashley Young. Obviously, Valencia announced he's leaving the club. So obviously, it's going to be giving to Ashley Young he's the captain's man band. But initially, before that came out, he did say Man United were willing to offer Solskjaer. Man United were willing to offer Paul Pogba the captaincy, to in a bid, to convince him to stay at the club. In a bid, to convince him to stay at the club. But now reportedly there's been a change of scenery. Now reportedly Solskjaer is only willing to offer Paul Pogba the vice captaincy. So it's the two favourable candidates for the captain to be captains is obviously Ashley Young and Paul Pogba. But let's be honest, what leadership has Ashley Young shown? What leadership has Paul Pogba shown? So, and I don't think he'll get the vice captaincy anyway, because I think Paul Pogba is actually leaving Manchester United. I think he's going to be making the move to Real Madrid. I definitely think he's going to be making the move to Real Madrid. Is Paul Pogba without a shadow of a doubt. As we all know, he's been on Real Madrid's agenda for quite some time now, as Paul Pogba. I think his wage demands are set to be lowered, so he can make his move to Real Madrid, because initially he was demanding 13 million a year was Paul Pogba, but reportedly his wage structure did not fit in Real Madrid. In his wage demands did not fit in Real Madrid's wage structure, of course. But Paul Pogba's still got 3 years left on his contract with Manchester United. Obviously, at least in the last 4 or 5 weeks, his agent Raiola is obviously being processed in the process of securing his move to Real Madrid. But I think us offering him the vice captaincy isn't going to be enough to convince him to stay at the club. I think even us offering him the captain's armband wouldn't be enough to convince Paul Pogba to stay at the club, because I think Paul Pogba's unhappy with Manchester United. And let's be honest, we paid £89 million for him. He hasn't been the fundamental player as we thought he would have been. He hasn't really exceeded expectation levels, Paul Pogba, because I thought it'd have been good for us, reflecting back, what he did at Juventus, because he did have 4 great years with Juventus. I know we had him before, he went to Juventus, obviously. We obviously had him under Alex Ferguson, but obviously based on limited appearances, Paul Pogba left Manchester United at that point on a free transfer. We had him when he was younger, and obviously then he went and had 4 great years in Turin. But as I did say, we have seen glimpses of Paul Pogba's best form, and we mainly saw it in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. That's when we saw the best of Paul Pogba, when Solskjaer was the interim manager, and it was mainly when Ander Herrera was playing when we saw the best of Paul Pogba. So that just emphasised how much of an impact Ander Herrera made. And let's be honest, Ander Herrera has been one of our best players since Alex Ferguson retired, arguably. But it's bad business that we're letting him go on a free transfer. But yeah, Paul Pogba, his performances though have been way below par, at least in the last 7 or 8 games. So that just emphasised that he doesn't want to be at Manchester United, and maybe he wants to go because he wants to be, competing, winning trophies and all that, being in Champions League football, and maybe wants to play amongst better players, Paul Pogba, and he's not getting this with Manchester United. And recent reports have said now we want around £138 million for him. We don't even initially want to sell him, but if we have to sell him, then I think we want around £138 million for him. Initially we wanted around 150 or £160 million for Paul Pogba, but Real Madrid, were currently reluctant to currently pay that. But yeah, I said if we can get around, we won't get 150 or 160 million, but if we can get 130 or 140 million for Paul Pogba, that's going to help us with our transition. It will help us with our rebuilding process, and we could potentially, get 2 players with that money. But he has still got 3 years left on his contract with Manchester United. There's still been a lot of transfer speculation, linking him with a move to his former club Juventus. There was also talks about Barcelona the other week as well. Obviously, he was linked with both Juventus and Barcelona last year, based on his poor relationship with Jose Mourinho. But obviously, yeah, so recent reports have initially said anyway that Solskjaer and Paul Pogba's relationship is slowly fading anyway. So I do believe he's going to be going, so we're obviously going to need a replacement for him. Obviously, reports have suggested out as well, Manchester United are waiting for Paul Pogba's future to be clarified, and we're waiting on Paul Pogba's future before we make any kind of approach or offer for Tanguy Ndombele. So reportedly we've delayed our move for Tanguy Ndombele until we sort this situation out with Paul Pogba. But I don't think we're going to get Tanguy Ndombele, because obviously Tottenham, Juventus, and I think PSG are interested in Tanguy Ndombele, and he's going to cost you probably around 88 million pounds. Is Tanguy Ndombele, so he isn't going to be available, for a reasonable figure. So that's quite a bit of money, for a 22-year-old, but it's supposed to be a good compassive midfielder, is Tanguy Ndombele, what I've currently seen. But yeah, he has been on Manchester United's agenda, but we are not willing to make a move until we sort the situation out with Paul Pogba. I think it did say Tottenham are the leading contenders for his signature at the moment, but I think he's supposed to be primarily a central midfielder, is Tanguy Ndombele. But yeah, only 22 years of age, Leon paid around £7 or £8 million for him. And obviously there's a lot of other midfielders midfielders on our agenda. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes, Sporting Lisbon. Obviously, I'd love him to come in. Obviously, Benfica's Joao Felix. I think now we've expressed that, we've stepped up our interest in Joao Felix, and Man United are reportedly prepared to pay his £100 million buyout clause. I think he can emulate into one of the best players in the world. Not emulating to like Ronaldo, Messi, or Neymar. Joao Felix, but I really, really like him. Only young, only 19 years of age. Primarily, plays as attacking midfielder, but he's attracted interest, from quite a few clubs. Has not yet made his senior debut for Portugal. Obviously, this has only been his first. This has only been his first season in his senior squad with Benfica. He's got goals in him, he's got assists in him, he's got immense talent in him, and Manchester United have been in talks with Benfica. Man United have been scouting him, for quite a while now. Obviously, we instructed scouts yet again to watch him throughout the course of the weekend, but he's a fantastic player, and I do believe he'd be the right solution for Manchester United. I love Bruno Fernandes and Joao Felix, but I don't see us getting both of them. Of course, he did say it'd probably cost us around £150 million, for the pair of them, but I don't see us getting the pair of them, to be quite honest with you. I probably would rather spend £100 million on Joao Felix or than basically Real Madrid's Isco, because as I said with Isco, I know there were reports coming out about Isco yesterday saying that Man U and City were interested in him, but I don't think he'd fit under our system at Manchester United. I think he'd probably fit in Man City's system, but he wouldn't currently fit in our system, with Isco. He is highly experienced, he's 27 years of age, don't get me wrong, he's a really, really good player. I think he's primarily an attacking midfielder, but obviously he's spent the entirety of his career in Spain, obviously mainly with Real Madrid. Obviously he's a former Malaga and Valencia player where he began his career, but at Real Madrid he's been there 6 seasons now. He's been fantastic. Obviously hasn't been we haven't seen the best of his form this season, because obviously he hasn't been really given the chance to score this season, with Real Madrid, especially under Santiago Solari. He didn't really get the chance, but yeah, he's found most of his appearances on the bench, and there has been possible transfer speculation of him leaving, Isco. But yeah, 27 years of age, still has got a lot of development in him, but yeah, he's going to probably cost you like over £100 million. I probably think he'd fit in Man City's system, but I don't think he'd fit in Manchester United's system. Would currently Isco, but I think Real Madrid may have to offload him, to make make room, for some current new arrivals. So yeah, there was a lot of talks about him, going on yesterday. But he's going to cost you, as I said, he's going to cost you over £100 million. Real Madrid only got him for £27 million for Malaga back in 2013, and he's gone on to make like 277 appearances in all competitions for Real Madrid. Isco. And yeah, there has been talks about him, but I don't think he'll come to Manchester United. And as I updated you earlier on, in regards, to what was going on with Pedro, of course, Pedro now reportedly Manchester United are interested in Pedro. He's a Fluminense player. If I've pronounced the team right, let me know in the comments if I haven't pronounced the team right. But it is Fluminense from what I'm basically saying. So reportedly Man United have he's come out in the last couple of days that Man United have made contact with Fluminense over the potential move for Pedro. Pedro is a centre forward. He is only 21 years of age. Is Pedro, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. I don't really know. To be fair, I don't really know much about him. Reportedly, he was on the verge of joining Real Madrid last year, but due to a knee ligament injury he had sustained, his move to Real Madrid hadn't currently materialised, and I think it was a really, really bad injury he currently had. I think he has been in the Fluminense senior squad now for like 3 years. I think he scored like 17 goals in like 50 appearances, but I don't really know much about him. But I think they're not willing to sell him anywhere. Fluminense are not willing to sell him anywhere until after the presidential election. I think it's on the 8th of June, of course. So he's been a potential Manchester United target most recently. So there's a lot of targets on our agenda, of course. Players are expected to leave, as I said. I've already given you the update. Of what's gone on with David De Gea, of course. Obviously now we're not intending on buying a goalkeeper to replace him, according to Daily Mail. We're going to promote Sergio Romero as our number one keeper if De Gea leaves. As I did say, Sanchez, he hasn't left yet, but I definitely think he's going to be leaving. Obviously, it's still Inter Milan and Juventus that are battling out for Alexis Sanchez. Obviously, we know definitely Valencia is leaving the club. Obviously, I've already given you the updates of what's going on with Crystal Palace's Wan-Bissaka. Reportedly, Man United submitted a bid of around £25 million for Wan-Bissaka yesterday. Obviously, this £25 million figure isn't going to be enough, to convince Crystal Palace to let him go. Crystal Palace are demanding that they want around £50 50 or 60 million pounds, and that is the quoted fee. He has been subjected to quite a bit of transfer speculations on Wan-Bissaka. Obviously, he's regarded as one of the best right backs in the Premier League. Obviously, Tottenham have been in for him. Manchester City have also been interested in Wan-Bissaka, but only 21 years of age, got 3 years left on his contract with Crystal Palace. Has been on Manchester United's agenda, for quite some time now. But I do really like him, of course. And he's only been in Crystal Palace's senior squad about 14 or 15 months, but he has done really well. Well, initially, Wan-Bissaka, was a winner, but obviously a winger when he was obviously a lot younger. But then obviously, he got rotated as a right back. But yeah, he's been on Manchester United's agenda, for quite some time. He's also British. He has, as I said, he's got 3 years left on his contract. Reports came out a while back saying that he was fully committed to Crystal Palace and is intending on spending another season with Crystal Palace. But I do believe, he would be the right replacement for Valencia. He'd be a perfect successor to Valencia. I do believe he'd be a good upgrade to Ashley Young, and he would be a good cover-up for... He would be a good cover-up for Diego Dalot. So I do believe he would be the right player, Wan-Bissaka, so I do really like him. But yeah, a lot of players on Manchester United's agenda, as you all know. Obviously, give you the news about Daniel James. I'll give you the news about Daniel James on a regular basis, as I did do earlier on in this current video. So yeah, it could be the move could be delayed, for quite a bit now. Obviously, with his father passing away, so I think it could take a little longer, to get a deal over the line for Daniel James. So yeah, and that's really everything to update today, guys. As I said, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. Obviously, we know the clubs do want to get a direct to the footballing. Obviously, we know want this appointed before the start of next season. Obviously, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs back in this summer, as you all know. Get at least 5 players in. I think Daniel James is going to be the first one, so I'd say we need at least another 4 players, to follow along with Daniel James. So, anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching.